Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Boardmasters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight we will be heading back to the land of Gearloc for another game of Too Many Bones. And this is a relatively new series that I started last week with my first match, which was Picket versus Nom, and I will link to that one down below if you want to check it out. I will reiterate what I said last week in that I am very new to this game still, and so... Well, I said the words last week, don't expect an error-free evening, and I edited the video for that match today, and there were plenty. Some that benefited me, like, for example, I had an extra baddie in the baddie queue that I completely forgot to even bring in, and another one where I misread the rule for hardy, so I treated it the same as thick skin, which probably enabled me to win a match that I probably shouldn't have done, and ones that harm me as well. Like, for some reason, I've been playing it where when you're training attack or defense, you have to roll your dice, but I completely forgot that if you roll a bones, you can re-roll it once. So I've just been assuming I failed and moving on, and also thinking that, for example, if you have 2 training points and you tried to train defense on the first one, fail, I was then thinking that I couldn't try defense on the second training point, which you can. And then there was just stupid things like, for example, I lost a fight against the stone golem last week where I said on the video that all I needed to do was outlast him and wait for fatigue. But I just stood there going toe to toe, even though I only had 2 dice that I could use in the fight, and completely forgot I could use dexterity to just run away and just keep avoiding it until fatigue wiped him out. But, you know, we live and learn, and hopefully it will be a bit more accurate tonight. I will certainly endeavour to be as close to the actual rules as I can. And with that, let's dive straight in. So tonight we are going with patches. And once again, I'll be playing on Adventurer, so I've got the 2 extra HP and the 1 extra training point, which I have put on my attack. And I'm going up against Marrow. So let's introduce Marrow. So, Marrow, a name that, when uttered in Gearloc, is enough to chill anyone to the bone. This orc never loses a battle and is a master strategist. He also effortlessly swings an axe the size of a small and angry Gearloc. Marrow knows how to bide his time in battle and will not hesitate to use as many followers to guarantee a victory. And you know, for anyone who's seen, particularly my footage on Crypt of Chaos, I spoke a lot about sort of non-typical fantasy roles. Like in that context, I was talking about how I appreciated the warrior character being a woman. And, you know, with this, I really appreciate the fact that they're highlighting an orc not just as like a mindless savage beast, but as a master strategist, because it's not something that you ever really hear credited to that sort of a species. Even in like Lord of the Rings, you know, there are very good strategic commanders in the orc forces, but you see them now and again, but they're never really recognised. But I'll leave that tangent aside, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I haven't even got my loot out yet. So that's not a great start. Okay. But other than that, I've got the baddie decks all sorted out. I've got my encounter deck sorted. It's going to be a bit of a longer playthrough tonight because Nom was an 8-day campaign, whereas potentially Marrow is a 12-day campaign. So there's the possibility of a lot more encounters, which, whilst a good thing, because a lot more variety and hopefully some more interesting things to do, obviously it's a bigger time commitment for you guys. So, you know, take the rough with the smooth, I guess. I think I'm ready to go. So let's dive straight into day one. And, you know, I think I mentioned last week that the first 3 special encounters are always the same until I get the 40 Days in Daylore expansion. So I will read them this week because it's only the second time, but going forward, I'm not going to bother reading the flavor text. I'm just going to go straight to the choice. So, day 1, leaving Abendar. Only 12 hours till dawn and the send-off ceremony that will no doubt change the lives of every remaining Gearloc and likely every life in Daylor. Weapons and supplies are ready to go, but the night is young and adrenaline fills the veins. It's clear no sleep will be had tonight. There's sure to be some shady peddlers in dark alleys ready to deal in loot. Then again, some last-minute training can pay a nice dividend by morning. So what to do? So we have the choice of some training, which will give us 2 training points, or shaking down a peddler, which will give us 1 training point and 1 piece of loot. Now, last week I did shaking down a shady peddler. So this week, just to keep it different, I will do the training. And I will first attempt to train my defense, which I succeeded in. And then I'm going to train my dexterity. And that's day 1. Adjust the day counter. And on to day 2, hardly out the gate. 15 steps into the journey, 15 steps. And already a Gearloc boot is struck through by an arrow. Luckily, no toes were killed. Teeth are clenched and a painful tug is made while looking around in embarrassment. Yow! Now, sufficiently ticked, it's time to return the favour to the ominous figures at the edge of the woods. A commotion breaks out atop the city wall, interrupting all thoughts. Guards have now spotted the brazen intruders and are notching their arrows. Their help is at the ready. Like it or not, this adventure is underway. And again, the 2 choices we have are the easy choice, which is recommended for first-time adventurers, where you ask the archers on the wall for help, and they deal 1 point of damage each round to all baddies. Or the one I went with last week, where it's time to show Abendar what Gearlocs are made of. So with Abendar watching, you feel an extra shot of adrenaline as you prepare for an unassisted battle. Now, while I definitely want to try and pick different things if the same encounters come up, I'm not going to on this one because I will literally just be harming myself to have an easier battle for no real benefit. I don't think it's going to be any better for you to watch a battle where enemies take 1 point at the end of the round. So I will go with the unassisted. And so the battle queue is 2 points. So I'll be facing off against 2 1-point baddies. And the first one is a Goblin Rioter. And he's already got a new keyword for us to learn this week. But he's got 3 health and 4 initiative. The second one is a Kobold Green Thumb. Now, a Kobold is one of the ones we got wrong last week. And as I mentioned earlier, we misused the hardy keyword. So thankfully, it's worked out quite well that in the first game or the first battle with it this week, we get another one with hardy, so I can show how it actually works. I will just check what Mischief does. So Mischief, you remove dice from the target's active slots. So basically what that means is if I have defense die, when he attacks, I have to remove one of those, which isn't ideal. The Kobold also has an initiative of 3, so let me roll an initiative of 4, sorry, a health of 3. My initiative is 3, so I'm going to be going last. Now, there's not really anywhere I go where I'm not gonna take some damage, unfortunately. Okay. So these enemies both only have 1 attack die, which is a blessing. So for the goblin, 1 point of damage. And the kobold is then going to move and do another 1 point of damage, which I will then regen, because like last week, Picket's innate ability was that he could roll all the defense die at the beginning of the fight to create a shield wall. Patches' innate ability is that he regens 1 point of health every turn. And then onto my go. So I don't see much value in rolling both defense die because the goblin is probably going to wipe it out anyway. So I may as well get my 2 attack die in and see if I can take him out. Nope. I might use the bones though. So that's going to be 2 points of damage. And that is round 1. So back to the goblin, who again does 1 point of damage. And the kobold does 2 points of damage, one of which I will instantly regain. And again, I will go for the goblin. And this time we do kill it. And I get a point of defense, which I can now put in. Now it's back to the kobold. 1 point of damage, which I will then heal. So I'll just roll my 2 attack die and do 2 points of damage, but he has hardy, so it's automatically reduced to 1. That's another round ticked off. Kobold attack, 1 damage, which I will heal. My 2 attack die, 1 damage, which is ideal because that's all I can do anyway. And then I've got 2 bones, so I will use my backup plan. No, I won't. I'll leave those bones there. Just in case, because I may roll a bone next time and then I can use my needle jab to kill the kobold instead of the attack dice. So round 5. This time the kobold rolled a bone and I did as well. So I will now use my backup plan needle jab. So I stick my target for 2 points of damage, which kills him. And that is victory. Okay, so for winning, I get 2 training points and a loot. So I'm going to get my first skill die. I'm going to get med kit. And I'm also going to get stim kit because that will give me the ability to buff my HP. It can also hurt me, but could give me a health buff of up to 5 HP, which is very, very good indeed. So my piece of loot, Fortunate Discovery. Select one of your consumable skill dice and place it in its spot on your map. On your mat, it is now available for use. I think I will go for the elixir of, or liquid life. So when I use that, basically, it can bring me back to life. Now, do I put that? Placed in the active slot, so it's not locked, so no point using it yet. And then I will heal for the end of the day. So back up to 7 health. And we're on to day 3. So crossing the Cibron. The Cibron River, a glistening vein of trade running the length of Daylor, playfully beckons as it shimmers in the daylight up ahead. But with so few bridges in these parts, this crossing is an obvious spot for enemy scouts and traps. A journey of this importance leaves only 2 options. Tucking the ears and trying to blend in is risky but efficient, A boat at dusk carries less chance of discovery but requires business with the Molnor, a trading syndicate with their own set of drawbacks. So as we discovered last week, the options are to tuck your ears and walk like a commoner, where you roll a d6 to see if you're successful and you get a progress token and a training point. Or you hire the Molnor, in which case you get a trove loot and you have to shuffle a special encounter into the encounter deck. Now last week I tucked my ears. So whilst that is always my preferred option for this, I will do the Molnir. So let's get the event. Trying to do this without seeing it, so I don't know what the top card is to try and keep it a surprise. And then I get a piece of trove loot. And now, with it being the end of the day, I can try and do a lock picking. So I need 3 L to get past the lever, the first stage of the loop. So I've got 3 there. Or I got the +1 die on the initiative die, so I can give an action die +1 and not exhaust it. So I have a 2L here. I can give that +1 to make it 3L and not exhaust it. So that's the lever done. Now I need 6 T. 6 on the trip. Nowhere near, didn't even get 1. So that is that lock-picking attempt over. And on to day 4. So we're beyond the special encounters now. Oh, Tyrant encounter. Didn't want any of these this early. I mean, yeah, this is what would happen if you were unsuccessful when you rolled the d6. So I've kind of been penalised for anyway. So Marrow's Civil War. Marrow is renowned throughout Daylor for his military tactics, but his reluctance to leave his stronghold apparently has caused the factions he commands to follow their own agendas and bolster their standing in the region. Massive armies are forming on either side of the pass, and they look to be facing off against each other. Waves of creatures from the bogs of Daylor are going toe-to-toe against what appears to be the elite of the Kobold army. This battle is happening, and there is no way out of it. Time to pick a side, or this dissension in Marrow's ranks will be the end of this adventure. So for today's battle, you will only fight one baddie type. If you succeed, the defeated type is removed from active and defeated stacks for the duration of this adventure. Choose wisely. So either I team up with the kobolds to wipe out the bogs, or I team up with the bogs to wipe out the lizards. Now the battle queue is 4. So I'm going to have 4 enemies in this one. So in that case, I think I will side with the kobolds, because kobolds tend to have hardy on them. And if I've got to take out 4 enemies with hardy, that's going to be a very tough fight. Whereas bogs tend to have poison, and with Patch's innate ability to regen, that will hopefully mitigate that a bit. So I need to find some bog type baddies. Let's just do it this way. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm already very unhappy about this. Right, so let's give these a little shuffle just to see which order they're going to come out in. So the first one is a ranged. It is a bog pole. Got 3 health and 3 initiative. It doesn't do any real attack, but it just inflicts poison. which poison of 1 I don't mind. It's not really going to do much to me. And then we have a bog frog, and he has poison of 2, which is worse of it, which means it's going to do 2 points of damage per round instead of 1. So I might want to take him out as soon as I can, especially if they come out the other way round. It wouldn't have been so bad because the bog pole's poison would have replaced the bog frog's. And it would have been far better off for me. And then we have a clay golem, which I do not like because they have a new keyword, which is break. And basically that means any attack die I use to attack the golem will be broken and have to be exhausted, and I won't be able to use them for the remainder of the battle. Given I only have 2 attack die, I'm not going to be able to do much damage to the clay golems, full stop. And we got another one, which is why I wasn't happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, let's roll my initiative die. I got 3, so at least I go first. Let's go here. And I think I'm going to have to try and take this bog frog out to get rid of poison 2 as soon as I can. So I'll roll 2 attack die. And a defense die. Actually, no, I'm not going to go for a defense die because I've only got 2 enemies that can attack me, and they both only got 1. Actually, no. Yeah, let's go defense. So 1 point of defense and 3 attack. So I didn't quite kill it, sadly. It's left with 1. Now I need a poison die. So the bog pole poisons me for 1. Then the bog frog poisons me for 2. Then this clay golem moves across and uses its 1 attack die, which hits me for 1. This one moves here and uses his attack die and hits me for 2. And that's the end of round 1. So now I'm going to lose 2 health to the poison, but gain 1 back through my regen. And now I'm going to do one attack dice with the med kit and the buff health. So that killed the bog frog. I got a buff of 5 HP from my buff HP, and I got a heal of 2 HP on my med kit, so that goes in my actual health. But those 2 get exhausted. The bog pole will then inflict poison 1 on me, and then it's the 2 clay golems to attack, which takes off 1 and another 1. That's the end of the second round, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll regen 1 of my initial health points. And then I'll move here using 2 dexterity, so I can only roll 1 die. So I'm going to use defense this time. Oh, I had a defense die there that I would see. there goes the error-free evening already. So I'm going to give myself back one of my buffed HP and take one of those defense die off. Oh, I didn't take off a point for poison either, did I? So that's the poison health gone. So back where I was. Then Clay Golem is going to attack me and do 1 damage. The other one is then going to move over here. And again, do another damage. Round 4. Poison will take 1 off, but I'll regen that one back on. No, again, I ignored my defense die straight away. I know what I'm doing. Right. Let's roll 4. No, I've only got dexterity of 3, so let's try and kill this bog pole and get rid of the poison. 2 bones and a defense. So the bog pole inflicts poison back on me. Clay Golem does 2 damage, so 1 off the shields, 1 off my buffed HP. Other Clay Golem attacks and takes off my other buffed HP. So that's the buff gone. Into round 5. I will roll both defense die. Get 2 bones. I'm just going to check what Fortunate Discovery does. So I can acquire a consumable die. No, I don't think I want that. So I think I'll use Needle Jab to stab one of these golems for 2 damage. And then again, should I be in round 6 now? Can't remember. Okay. Bog Pole inflicts poison on me. Clay Golem 1 to attack. 1 damage. Clay Golem 2, so that's 2 damage. Now we're into fatigue territory. So everyone is going to lose a point. I'm going to lose 2 because I've got poison on me. Although the poison's now finished. So I'm going to roll defense and attack and my liquid life. I've got defense as a bone, so I'm going to use that to heal a Gearloc for 1 damage. I've got a liquid life, so if I die I come back with 3 health, and I do 1 point of damage, which I will do to the bog pole. Annoyed I didn't kill it off though. He's going to inflict poison on me, and then the 2 clay golems do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, which kills me. But then I come back to life with 3, and presumably dying and coming back to life clears poison. I assume I don't come back with poison on me. And then fatigue. So fatigue is going to kill the bog pole. And take a point each off the clay golem. But my regen now will cancel the fatigue. I'll roll, and I need to discard that because that was consumable that I've now used. So I'll roll 1 attack die and 2 defense and try and kill this clay golem. So he's dead. I have to exhaust that die. I won't use the bones, but I'll get 2 defense. And the remaining clay golem will hit me for 1 to come off my shield. Then fatigue will take 1 off him, take 1 off me, but I will then heal it. And then I will use an attack die. Oh, and a defense. So I now have 3 defense. I have to exhaust that attack die to do 1 point of damage on him. He will do 1 point of damage on me, take that shield off. Then fatigue will kill him whilst I will heal my fatigue. So I managed to scrape my way through that battle. Thanks to the liquid life. Okay, so and then I assume after that I've got to take all. If you succeed, the defeated type is removed from active and defeated stacks. So I need to get rid of all the poison or bog types. So all 4 of those go over here. Don't know if there's any more in here. Yeah, there's another frog. Any poison in the 20s, scales, poison, poison. Any poison in the 5s. 1, 2, 3. Now, given that this has now removed all the golems, last week I had an encounter card where you had to either fight a stone golem or lead a golden golem down to fight some raiders. Presumably if I get that encounter now, because there are no golems, it's just going to be an automatic success. Who knows? Right, so I've got 2 training points. And I think one of them is going to be my health and one of them is going to be my dexterity. And then loot. Did I just put that back on the top? No, I got 2 fortunate discoveries in a row. Okay, so I'll get another liquid life because we saw how useful that can be. And then I'll heal back for the end of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's try this lock picking again. So I need to somehow get 6 trips. 2 trips. And then 2 fails. I don't know why I rolled the d6. So no, that's not successful. So next day. Okay, invited for dinner. Wakey, wakey, little critter, a deep voice bellows as a putrid stench fills my nose and mouth. I cough and spit to gain my breath, but the air is thick with the smell of rotten fruit or worse. Something pokes my side and I start to swing. Swing? Why am I swinging? This question forces my eyes open. Everything is upside down and swaying uneasily. I look up and see nothing but green grass. Gaining my senses, I'm frighteningly aware that I am bound and hanging, legs lashed to a tree branch. Below me is a boiling pot. Beside it stand 2 troll mules, currently fighting over what to add to their stew. Gearloc stew. So my 2 choices on this one. Pick your locks and escape. Make a lockpick attempt on a 3F2L lock. If you're successful, you escape with loot, just not your own. So discard all your current loot, excluding trove loot, and draw 2 new ones. If you fail to pick both parts of the lock, remove 2 HP and take other choice. The other choice is to trick the trolls. I taste better after being unbound and rolled in fire ants. It gives Gearloc meat a real kick. Lose 3 HP from fire ant bites. You may only recover half your HP during recovery phase tonight. Okay. Encounter success is achieved no matter the outcome. Well, I feel like I've got to try and pick the locks first. So I need to do a 3F, 2L. Okay. What's that one? A re-roll. Yeah. So I've got a 1F. And the silver one is the best 4F. So I'm going to re-roll that one with the initiative die. So I've got 1F on that, do I? Another re-roll. I'll re-roll that one again. 2L. So that is not successful. Fabulous. Again, I don't know if I could have done it the other way, because if I could have done the 2L first, then I would have succeeded easily. Right, so I'm going to lose 2 HP for failing to pick the lock, and then I'm going to lose 3 HP for the fire ants. But I have successfully completed the encounter at least. So I've got 5 progress, I need 10. And I get a training point. Which I think I'm going to get a toxins one. Yeah, toxins. Because that's going to give me bones and poison. And we've seen how useful poison can be. So I get to do another lock picking on my trove loot. Again, see if I can get 6T. So I've got a 3T, a 2T, and a re-roll. Right, this one has only got 1 T side on it. Right, that one is, that was the 1F side, is convert. Treat the lock type on 1 action die as the lock type of your choice. So I'm going to treat the 1F as a 1T, giving me 6T. So I have cleared the T lock. So I now need a 3F on my next day. So hopefully I'll actually have some trove loot after this encounter. An issue of lung capacity. So this is one that we have had before. So 34, 35, 36. How long before I drown in this bog? My ill-advised taunting landed me here, cornered in this soggy cesspool with no one to blame but myself. Thankfully, I remembered that most Ebon have an unnatural aversion to water, if you can even call this water, yet there they sit at the water's edge with all manner of sharp and pointy objects. 42, 43, 44. The opposite bank is too far to swim to, and I abandon my gear behind a boulder on this side. Maybe I can reach out and grab one of their spears. Okay, so looking at the choices on this one, we've got 66, 67, 68. Grab it. So it would be a 6-point baddie Q, and then reduce by 2 the attack stat of the first baddie to enter lane 1, which would be the 5-point baddie. And it would increase my attack by 1, but I couldn't use skill dice for the first 2 rounds. Or go for the gear, so it'd be a 6-point baddie Q again, but no skill dice can be used for the first round. And again, although I'm trying to showcase different choices, it would be really self-destructive, I think, to go for the second choice, because being able to knock 2 attack off a 5-point baddie and giving myself an extra die is far more meaningful than having an extra round of skill die. And one thing I just realised, I haven't actually healed myself at the end of the previous day after the fire ants. So I may only recover half your HP. So half my HP, I'm assuming it means my maximum HP, so I can heal 4, which will take me back up to 7. Okay. So I will be doing the grab the spear. So let's get my baddie cues. So a 5 and a 1. So the 5-point baddie is a Goblin Alarmist. Okay. He is ranged with 6 health. And he's got Signal of 3, which I do not like the sound of. So at the start of this unit's turn, add a single lesser baddie to the bottom of the bat. So basically for 3 rounds, he's going to bring another 1-point baddie in. And he has an initiative of 6. So it's going to be impossible to stop one of those. And the other enemy is a Goblin Bomber. So he's got Careless. So again, if he rolls a bones, he's going to hurt himself. And Mischief. So he's going to remove an active die. So I have to be very careful if I need to use my Liquid Life. And he's arranged as well. And he's got an initiative of 5. I have an initiative of 3. I think I just want to take out the minions as, or actually I could try and poison the Alarmist. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. So 1 attack die. Oh, I'll put the D6 on here so we know he doesn't have an attack die. He's got 2 defense die. And he's going to bring a Goblin Sandbagger into the queue. I'm putting him face up because otherwise I'll forget he's there like I did last week. So 1 defense. And then the Goblin Bomber has 1 attack. So it does 2 to me. I will regen 1 of those. I will then use 1 dexterity to go there. I will roll my toxins die to try and poison the Alarmist. I'll use my, and then I think I'll go with 2 attack die. Excellent, so he's got poison of 3 on him. Took his defense off and 1 point of damage. So basically the poison of 3, he's going to take 3 damage off that. So that poison is going to kill him eventually. And that's the end of the first round. So round 2. So this guy's going to come in. He's got Mischief if he rolls a bones. He's another ranged character. He's another ranged character. He's going to go on here, but he automatically goes to the bottom of the battle queue. So then he's going to take 3 points of damage from the poison, which will then become poison 2, which will kill him next turn. Although another baddie is now in the battle queue. And he rolls his 2 defense die. Yeah, 2 defense die. Gets 3, but don't mind that. Then the Goblin Bomber is going to do 1 attack to me, which I will then heal straight away. Then who am I going to try? I'm going to try and take out the Sandbagger. So 3 dexterity. So let's go with 2 attack die and 1 defense die. So yeah, 3 damage, so he's dead before he can get an attack in. And 1 defense. It's the end of another round. He's now going to come in. Again, he's ranged as well, so he's going to come straight back in where the other one was. And he's going to potentially weaken me, which is one we saw last week. But he is now going to take 2 damage on poison at the start of his turn. So that's going to come into effect before the signal does. He came in the battle queue, so although he's got an initiative of 5, he comes in at the bottom of the battle queue. So he's going to use his 1 attack die and do 1 damage, which I will heal. And then I'm going to try and take out this dragon whelp before he can weaken me. So I'm going to use my... Oh, no. I've done it again. His 1 damage took off my shield, so my regen gives me health back. Don't know why I keep forgetting that. So 3 attack die and 1 defense die. So that is him dead before that dragon whelp is there before he can attack. And another point of defense that I will probably forget to use. And that's another round done. So I can put the weakened die back because I didn't need it. Okay, 1 attack, 1 defense. I then get my regen health. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm back to full health. I'll move 2 across, so I now have... Do I go try and kill it? Yeah, let's try and kill him. 2 attack die. 2 damage, so... Actually, because he's got mischief, that would have got rid of my defense die anyway, so I can't remember how many. I'm just going to knock 4 off just to overcompensate. And then round 5. He got bones, so he did nothing to me. Oh, and then just roll my attack dice to kill him off. Put my extra attack die back because I don't want to forget that I don't have that permanently. And again, although I made some errors, I don't think I made any that would have made a difference to the result of that fight. So end of the day heal. So winning, I get 2 training points. So I'm going to try my defense, which I failed. So I will try my attack, which I succeed. And then I'll try my defense again with the 2nd training point, which again I failed. So I'll put my dexterity up. And I also get a loot. A skinning knife. Before drawing your next encounter, place a defeated baddie from your most recent battle onto this card. Any baddies of that type appearing in your next battle are surprised. After battle, return baddie to defeated stack. Okay, so surprised means that unit goes down to the bottom of the initiative meter. And the last one I did was a goblin. Where am I? Oh, let me do my lock picking a minute. So I did the trip, so I just need the 3 force. throwing it everywhere. And failed miserably. No force came up. That's what I get for such terrible rolling. Okay, so what am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 3 more. I need to get another 4 more. So I don't think I will on this turn. I won't use my skinning knife yet. Not so ordinary water. At last, a stream of liquid trickles from a crack in the ravine wall. I've been running for what feels like hours with a nasty gash in my side, and the water instantly renews my strength. There was no ordinary merchant camp back there, and I paid for my stupidity before I could flee. This spring is also not so ordinary. A strange yet welcome sensation is present as the water runs through my system. Instinct tells me to wash my wound directly, and instantly the bleeding stops. Maybe I should set up camp and allow this water to do its work, but who else knows about this spring? Have I distanced myself enough from those swindling merchants? So I can choose to stay here for the day. Okay, so it will be 7 battle points plus a 5-point baddie, but I will get 5 HP as a buff. Or I can bottle some water and keep moving, and I get to keep this card as a loot, which will heal me for 2. I think I'm going to go for it, because with the buff... Alright, so it's going to be 5, 2 1s, and then another 5. Kind of wish I'd use my skinning knife now. So the first one, Kobold Elite. So we've got a Hardy and a Compound, which is hideous. Because Compound means their attack die number is the number of the round. So it's not too bad early on, but it gets very painful if you start hitting rounds 4 and 5. So Hardy is any turn this unit takes damage. So if I can poison it and attack it, it's going to take damage from the poison on its turn and damage from my attack on my turn. So that might be one way I can try and get rid of it a bit quicker. We have an Orc Grunt, which has the raiding ability, which means if any more orcs come out, that's going to give it an extra die. And then we have an Orc Scout, and he gets the same. So I'm rapidly regretting doing this. Oh, and then the Goblin Alarmist with the signal is back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he's got, the Kobold's got an initiative of 3. The Grunt has got an initiative of 2. The Scout is 4, and the Alarmist is 6. I've done it the wrong way around. 3 is 4. 4 is 6. And I am 4. So at least I get to go second. Yeah, so both orcs are going to get 2 attack die. So do I want to take one of those out as soon as I can? I think I might do. Okay. Oh, I get 5 HP as a buff. So I need to remember to take that first. I'm not remembering defense, so I'm not holding out much hope I'm going to remember my buff, but we'll see. Right, so let's move 1 here. At least I'll dodge his attack then, because he won't be able to reach me. So let's go, which I'll have a dexterity of 4, so 3 attack die and 1 defense die, I think. One, two, three. So yes, I managed to kill him straight away. Although I've been a bit overzealous because it's not my attack yet. So the Goblin Alarmist goes first. He calls in a 1 point, which is a Kobold Tracker, which is again not good because he's got Hardy and Compound the same as the Kobold Elite. And then it rolls 1 attack and 2 defense. So it did 1 damage to me. And unfortunately, regen doesn't regain buff HP. Right, so then I had my turn and killed the Orc. And then it is, so 3 is out. So then it's this guy's turn. He gets 1 attack gut die. He does 1 damage off my buffed HP. And then he is going to move this way. And we'll see why in a second, because that is the end of that round. So he is now going to come in with a health of 2. And so he has now blocked that Orc, so that Orc is now going to have to go all the way around here to get to me. And that was my plan on that. And although he's got an initiative of 6, the Kobold Tracker, because he's joined after the first round, he automatically goes at the bottom. At least I think that's my understanding. I think it's only 20-point baddies and Gearlocs that come in at the top. I may be wrong. Right, so now I'm going to go for this guy, the Kobold Elite. I'll get my Toxin, 1 attack die, 2 defense, and my Stim kit. So 2 damage, which is obviously reduced to 1 because of Hardy. Poison of 1. Nope, I'm not using that. 1 defense. And a bone, which I'll put for there for the minute. And a stim of 3. So I'll take that. Okay. Did I forget to do the... I think I did, didn't I? Oh no, I rolled his attack, I just didn't do the signal. Okay. So we've got another Orc Peon to come in a moment, which is going to boost him up. So I've had my turn. Now it's time for the Kobold Elite, who's now got 2 attack die. So he does 2 damage to me, 1 defense and 1 from the buff. The Orc can't get to me, so he's going to go this way. And then the Kobold Tracker is going to use his 2 attack die. And that's the end of that round. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick check to confirm that he won't come out of the battle queue while there's still 4 enemies on the board, but the next signal is going to put a dragon hatchling in that queue as well. So that's the signal now finished, and then he's going to do his 1 attack and 2 defense. So he's got 1 defense and a couple of bones. I think I'm going to go for this guy. No, I'm going to stick with going for him. So toxins again, attack die, defense die. May as well use all the attack die and hope for some bones. So 1 bone, 2 defense, 4 attack, but that's only going to be reduced to 1. And then 1 toxin again. Don't really want to just use 1 toxin. Nope. Okay. So now he's going to have 3 attack die now. And he only did 1, remarkably. This orc is now going to move here. And then the other kobold tracker with his 3 die. And he only did 2. So 1 defense and 1 off my buff. So that went remarkably well. Next round. So he doesn't have signal now. So 1 attack and 1 defense. So he did 1 attack. And he's got another defense die. So back to me. I might move here and try and take this guy out. Or poison him, so at least. Because he's going to get an extra attack die when this peon comes in, but if I can kill him before he does, then... Right, so 3 bones, so I can use needle jab to do 2 damage to him. And I've got 2 attack, which will kill him. And then a 1 toxin again, which I can save. So that's off. So he's then going to move there. He now has 4 attack die. This is going to hurt. So 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the tracker has the same. And he only did 1, remarkably. And then he's going to come in lane 2 with 3. So then round 5 now. I don't see me surviving round 5, but we'll just see. So 1 damage, which I will then regenerate. Medkit, toxins, 2 defense die and 1 attack die against this kobold elite. So 2 bones, which I will then use to heal 1. One damage. I'm not going to use the med kit at 1. I'm going to risk it. No point using the toxins either. I don't think I'm going to be surviving this round anyway now. So now Kobold Elite is going to come at me with 5 attack die. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's me dead. So that is a failed scenario. So that can go over there. Ugh, couldn't have gone worse with all those kobolds in there. hardy and compound is just a hideous, hideous, hideous combo. Of course, that signal didn't help either. I may well have been able to cope without that. So I can heal up at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I better tidy this up actually, haven't I? Okay, let's try and open this Travely. 3F I'm after. I got 2F. And I think that's a convert. I'm hoping that's a convert. It is a convert, so I can convert my 3T into a 3F. So I have opened my Trove Loot. A small spotting scope. Permanent. So outside of battle, reveal a 1 point, 5 point or 20 point baddie in an active stack. You may immediately move this baddie to the bottom. Okay. So I think I'm going to do that now. Check the 5 point. It's a goblin. Did I beat a goblin in the last battle? No, I just beat orcs. I think I'll leave him. I was thinking if it was an orc, I could have then used my skinning knife to do it, but I'm not going to now. Okay, next encounter. A dire situation. My desire to sleep is clashing with my fear of being eaten by wolves. These torches only burn for so long. Must stay awake. Oh! Jolted from my involuntary slumber, my sleeping gear becomes a tornado of chaos as I scramble from under my blanket. A few dying embers flicker weakly in the expiring fire, giving just enough light to see nothing at all. I look up to find some moonlight through the trees, but my view of the night sky is suddenly eclipsed by the evil glow of 2 huge yellow eyes. As I slowly stand, my stomach turns as I realise I'm still only half the beast's size at best. I desperately fumble through my belt for a weapon that's not there, and this dire wolf looks hungry. So, choice 1, I must find my weapon. So a 1 point and a 5 point wolf. Cannot use skill dice until after the first 2 rounds. I must find my pack. 1 point and 5 point wolf. Can only use skill dice the first 2 rounds of battle. So I think I'm going to go with the weapons. Because most of my... Well, I suppose only the med kit really is reactive, but hopefully my defense can get me through. So I need to find a 1 point and a 5 point wolf. Oh, that is a wolf, isn't it? Dire wolf pup, of course it is. Kind of looks like a leopard, so. Dire wolf pup. And a dire wolf. Lashback. Fabulous. So lashback means any turn this unit is damaged by an adjacent opposing unit, this unit will then deal damage back so long as it was not defeated. Right, so the dire wolf has got 6 health. Four initiative. And 4 attack die, which is horrific. And the pup has got 3 health, 3 initiative, and 1 attack die. My initiative here is 3. So the direwolf is going to hurt me. Right. I figure I may as well go here because I can't. Actually, no, I'm going to go here. And do a bit more running around on this one, I think. Although if I kill the pup, then... Right, forget it. Okay. So round 1, the direwolf move there. And 4 attack die. Two. That's not bad. And I'll regain 1 of those. So then I'll use all 5 of my die. And I'll go against the pup. So do 4 damage, 1 defense, and a bone. So the pup is dead. So I don't have to worry about lashback. But I probably made its mummy very angry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1 defense, so 3, 1 of which I'm going to regain. Two defense, 2 attack. And I'll use my heal Gearloc backup plan to give me 1 health back. And now I can bring in skill items again. One, 2, 4, 6, minus 2, so 4. Ouch. So I want to use my med kit, my stim kit. Let's go with the toxins and 2 attack dice, I think. Try and go all out on this one. Okay, so healed for 3. Buffed for 3. Toxin of 2. 1 attack. So it could have gone better, but it could have gone worse. So round 4, he's gonna... Oh, yeah. I should have been taking lashback. I'd have used my liquid life if I'd realised that. So he takes 2 damage from the poison. And then it's going to do 5 damage, which is going to kill me. Yeah. Oh, I did mess that up. Right. So that's a loss there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've only got 4 days left. Oh no, because 9, 10, 11. I need to challenge him before the 12th, on the 12th day at the latest, so I cannot get enough progress to get through it now. So I think I'm going to have to call it there. And that was a very early miserable defeat, I'm afraid. I might give Patches another go next week. Or I may move on to Boomer. I haven't quite decided yet. Maybe I'll go on to Boomer and then I'll cycle back round to maybe do some 2-handed with Patches after I've gone through the 4. But I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about all the mistakes, particularly the ignoring the defense die, that's one mistake that I don't seem to usually make, but I was doing it constantly tonight. So yeah, I'm very sorry about that. But still hope the gameplay was enjoyable for you, because it is a fantastic game. And I'm going to leave it there. So thank you very much for watching again. Look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye now.